Okay, what's up, Instagram? So thank you for coming. Sorry I'm late. Today is spring, and today is also the beginning of the regular decision editions, where UVA came out last night, U Chicago came out last night, the UCs are trickling out. There's like something every day. And it's probably worthwhile thinking that, today is these results. This is just a moment of culmination. Any single result is rarely make or break. Uh, if you've done this widely, if you've done this aggressively, if you've applied to multiple countries, then it's all just sort of a part of the puzzle. And the picture starts to sort of shape up for any given fit, for any given strategy. And it's sort of, you can already kind of tell if your list has been good. So essentially, I hope everyone is happy and, kind of getting, audio is not very good, 1 second. How's that, Samudra? Anything? Audio? Audio check? Can you hear anything? Try now. Better. Okay, good. Now, sorry about that. So, regular decision results. What do you do if you get in? Do you have to send a nice email thanking the admissions office? No. It's sweet of you, but there's no point. If you don't get it, can you appeal? Yes, actually. Some universities allow you to appeal, okay? Some universities allow you to appeal. And, UIUC allows you to appeal. And we've actually we've done some research into appeals, and we don't do them, thanks Discover. We don't do them too often, but we've looked into basically the top 120 unis for appeals. And the ones that do say they offer appeals is UC Berkeley, you can appeal. UCLA, no. UC Berkeley, potentially UNC Chapel Hill, UIUC, potentially Georgia Tech. And actually Purdue, you can appeal. So if you really want to appeal, you can appeal. Once or twice I've seen these overturned. USC has an appeal now. So basically, what happens if you're waitlisted? That's interesting. Now, every uni on their common data set will publish information about what number of people do they waitlist. Some unis waitlist a huge number of people. Some unis waitlist 10,000 people. Boston Uni famously, BU waitlist like 15,000 people. They let in like 10, okay? Other unis waitlist very few people. Like Harvey Mudd, it only waitlists 10% of candidates. They let in 10%, they waitlist 10%. Okay, now, with the waitlist, how do you do it? You, first off, have to wait, okay? But the goal of a waitlist is to convince the uni that you will, not that you will be a superstar, not that you will get straight A's. The goal is to convince them that you will attend. If they give you a seat in late May, that you are a 100% sure bet, okay? At this stage, the unis will want it to be over as much as you will. All they're looking to do is fill their batch. That's it. So if you've made it to the waitlist, and it's a place that doesn't frequently waitlist, and I would say U Chicago, they don't waitlist everyone, far from it. If you've got a waitlist at U Chicago, it's worth pursuing. If you've got a waitlist at Babson, it's worth pursuing. If you've got a waitlist at Harvey Mudd, it's worth pursuing. And the nature of that pursuit is you're telling them, you're convincing them that you're all in and that you will attend if they get you to if they let you in. There's 3 things you'll do. Number 1, write a nice letter, okay? I don't think it has to be like Shakespeare, but it can be a nice letter. Number 2, write another letter, okay? Write a letter now, write a letter later, okay? Show them you're into it. And then number 3, do virtual engagement, okay? Do online tours, do online info sessions. Literally, engage virtually. It helps, it weirdly helps. And if you can want to do everything and leave no stone unturned, which is what I generally do for the students, is you get a special letter from your high school, okay? 1 letter from school, from your school counselor, and that person is saying one thing, that they'll stake their reputation on the fact that you will attend if you get in. So, generally speaking, you wouldn't want to ask for that letter for 2 different unis, and you would definitely want to wait for all of your decisions to come through before you approach school. Your school counselors will be in kind of an interesting hiatus period. They'll be very exhausted from the cycle, but they'll also be sort of aware that they have to keep working to help you. They'll kind of want to move on, but they'll know that they have to keep helping you. So the point is that if you ask them sweetly, if you ask them correctly, their help matters most. Your high school counselor saying, this guy's been waitlisted, this person's been waitlisted, they're a really good candidate, but more importantly, they are a sure thing to get it. Okay, they're a sure thing to attend. So that's what I would do, okay? And as you move through this, I would keep in mind, and Q, I've got some interesting research. We've been tabulating all of our results recently, and that's actually about 20,000 applications. So it's pretty intense. And then we've sort of gone through and kind of worked out who was waitlisted, who was accepted, who was whatever. And so in the past 7 years, we've had 10,600 total outcomes, okay? For America, we've had for the US, that would be about 9,000 total outcomes. Out of that, we've had how many people waitlisted? About 1,000 waitlisted. So usually, and this is like, every kid submits usually like 20 applications. So generally speaking, normal kid, average kid, you're gonna get a few waitlists, probably 3. If there's something good about your application, you might get as many as 10. I've had one kid set the ESSAI record. He had like 12 waitlists. He actually got into his uni off a waitlist. Now, and then out of those waitlists, how many? Out of that 1,100 waitlists, the number that converted would be, wait a second, about 100. Okay, so generally speaking, naked, 1 in 10 chance on the wait list. I'd take a 1 in 10 chance. And other unis, certain unis are actually pretty okay about it. So the good waitlist conversions that we've had, the unis that are a little bit more open about it, a little bit more doable, Claremont McKenna, NYU, Cornell, I've seen work, Emory, Berkeley, Barnard, I've seen those work. It's NYU, Babson, like significantly Babson. Now, Boston Uni once or twice. So I hope everyone keeps a level head, that you've applied to multiple countries, and that you are, that the news you're getting is just a part of the picture that is coming into clarity as you're understanding about what is your next step. And so it's very exciting, but I think probably the only good thing about what's happening, not the only good thing, but I think one of the effects of what's happening in education right now is that people are focusing on they're kind of focusing on building a global strategy. Makes sense. You guys are international students. You should consider the world as your potential classroom. How have the results been this year? Good. That's an interesting question. I'm always struggling to express the results, but let's see here. We've had 6 kids into Oxford, Cambridge. That's out of about 14 applicants. That's pretty good. We've had 5 kids into Columbia this year. That's pretty damn good. Let's see, we can go Ivy League only. So 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid. If you count Northwestern, I would. So counting Northwestern, the elite American placement so far has been 14 different kids getting into the kind of elite American unis, and it's probably out of about 25 total applicants for us. So I mean, we work with, we're a boutique. We put a lot of time and energy into each of our students, and so yeah, they're good. Generally speaking, I'm going to be expecting about 90% of our qualified students to be getting into the really good unis. That's a very normal stat for us. So anyways, you can follow our Insta for all that. The main thing is, I think admissions are generally trending very similarly, actually, to last year. Early decision was a little bit more generous. It was a little bit easier. I think that there was less applicants. Regular decision, still, it's about the way it usually works so far, is signs are, and that's good. And so yeah, that's kind of it. So 3 things to keep in mind during the next couple of weeks would be, in some ways the game really continues, and in some ways the game only begins once you have your decisions through. You're either in, waitlisted, or out. Okay, if you're in, it's party time. If you're out, you could consider an appeal. I wouldn't probably waste too much time on it. Now, if you're waitlisted, the game begins. And the really good applicants can be waitlisted in 5 to 10 places. Now, I would say, if you're waitlisted, keep your wits about you. Hey, I see some familiar names. Now, does financial aid impact admissions? Yes, sadly, okay? It does at certain unis. It doesn't kill your chances of admission, but it does level you up. It makes a hard thing even harder. So, you always have to look for the big 6 unis: Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Brown, Dartmouth, Amherst. Brown is a recent addition. They don't penalize you for seeking financial aid. I had financial aid. So you do have to kind of be so good that you can get into those unis. That's a big thing. All right. But if you have an awesome sport, that's good. One other interesting thing we've been doing is we've been analyzing. I wish I could make a post out of this, but the information is too sensitive. We've been analyzing our past highly successful students. And, to me, I count anyone who's gotten into that kind of UC Berkeley level or better. Okay, so Carnegie Mellon, UC Berkeley, all that stuff, or better. Okay, and what's interesting is that we've just been able, and we've looked at this across the different academic subjects and across streams and across whatever. Now, and this is just kind of the different kids who've gotten into these really, really great unis. Now, number 1 is that on average, the kids have done 2 summer schools. Number 2 is on average, they've done 1.7 internships. Number 3 is on average, they've done 0.99 mentored research projects. So that's good stuff. So keep that in mind. Now, the curious thing is that on average, okay, and this is analyzing a data set of about 250 people, so it's pretty robust. So on average, the number of people who do not have school leadership, some kind of school leadership, is 20%. So 80% of those highly successful students have school leadership. Interesting, huh? And then, even more interesting, the number of people who just do not have a highly developed skill or music or sport or whatever, just like don't have it, is about 25%. Okay, so about 75% of those really good students, okay? Actually, hang on, let me try that again. I think about 7. So, because I was looking for the number of summer schools, the number of research projects, the number of internships, and the number of leadership posts, and then the number of highly developed extracurricular activities. And so the number of kids who just don't have anything that's crazy. It's only 10%. Okay. So if you are going to be an Ivy League hopeful, it's really helpful if you're like good at sport or good at music or good at art or good at debating. Okay. It's very normal. So very good. That's it for one day. I have to go. I hope to see everyone soon, and congratulations on your success. And remember, final thing, yield protection is a real thing. Okay, so it's really, really difficult to assess someone's overall strength on the basis of a single result. And Q will remember some of these kids, and so I did some interesting analysis. I've worked with 7 or 8 people who've gotten into Stanford, Harvard, Yale for STEM, just Stanford, Harvard, Yale, STEM, okay? And I looked to see how many of them also got into Carnegie Mellon. And the answer was 0. Ooh, ouch. And they got into Stanford. What's up with that? So, don't take anything to heart too badly, okay? It's about the big picture. So, that's all for one day. I hope everyone is well, and until next time.
Okay, what's up, Instagram? So thank you for coming. Sorry I'm late. Today is spring, and today is also the beginning of the regular decision editions, where UVA came out last night, UChicago came out last night, the UCs are trickling out. There's like something.